everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have officially fixed and rearranged my workspace so things look a little bit different. You'll see on my Poshmark closet and Mercari closet that my pictures look a little different, and this is the new layout. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. Today's video is going to be something that might upset a few people, and it's not intentional, and I do want to put a disclaimer out that and say that whatever you do with your money, whatever you want to do with your business, that is completely up to you. It's definitely not up to me. I don't control your finances. I don't control how you want to do things, but I do think that for people who are just starting with reselling or don't exactly know what brands to pick up or where to go, they kind of jump and grasp at things that are given to them that seem kind of shiny, you know, shiny object kind of thing. And what I'm talking about is paying for content that is absolutely free, that you can find on the internet, that you can find on Poshmark, that you can find in Facebook groups, Instagram, especially if you follow certain hashtags, you'll be able to find a plethora of information right at your fingertips. And yes, I know it can be overwhelming, but sometimes it's best to take some of that information, write it down, and just run with it, or keep it in your brain and run with it. That's pretty much what I did when I first started reselling full-time. Well, it's still part-time, but when I first started reselling, there's plenty of people out there who offer services such as BOLO lists. And if you don't know what BOLO lists are, it's items, brands to be on the lookout for, which is what BOLO stands for, be on the lookout. You know, and things like that are a little bit risky because let's say somebody's selling a BOLO list for $70. That's just, I don't know, $50, $70, something like that. I think I've seen lists go for that much, which is insane because there's so many brands out there that you can't possibly narrow down the best ones. And purchasing a BOLO list is kind of a gamble because there are plenty of brands on those BOLO lists that I have tried to sell in the past and they don't flip. Whatever I try to do, they just don't flip. Some of them sit for a very long time, like J. Crew. J. Crew sits for the longest time for me. It eventually sells, but not quickly. What's another one? Brooks Brothers doesn't sell very fast for me. Oh my goodness. Free People definitely doesn't sell fast for me anymore. Urban Outfitters things don't sell super fast for me. And of course there's many other brands out there that take a while to flip. So it's honestly what you're comfortable with. Do you want something that's fast? Do you want something that you're going to profit $5 off of, $10 off of, $50 off of? Do you want brands that are well known? Do you want bread and butter brands, which means things that you can make like quick flips for, but it's not going to sell for very much? Don't expect it to sell for like $50. It'll sell for maybe $15, $20, sometimes $25 if you're lucky. You know, those BOLO lists, they're not meant for everyone. It's not a one-size-fits-all list. It's more like this is my personal experience. This is what I've been lucky with, and I kind of want you to have the list now, but I want you to pay me for this list that I've had so much luck with. And it also depends on the region that you're in. Here where I'm at on the East Coast in Virginia, I can find certain brands, but there's people who are in California that find all these other brands that I've yet to see here, especially where I'm at. You know, it also just depends on your places to source. It depends on what is available to you. And it also depends on the market. Is this brand saturated like J. Crew? J. Crew is heavy on Poshmark. So what makes your J. Crew item more unique than Seller B's J. Crew item? You know, it could be, let's say you went to the Yellow Tag clearance sale and you picked up all sorts of, you know, $4.99 items or 99-cent items, and now Poshmark, and I'm just speaking of Poshmark because that's the first platform that comes to mind and that's the first one that I sold on. Now Poshmark is just completely flooded with the same shirt, which happened last year where one reseller said, oh, I found this shirt and they put it up on Poshmark, and then a couple of days later, that same shirt was just like 35 listings deep. You know, what makes things unique? So you have to be careful with those BOLO lists. What are they called? Like webinars. Now, some people have webinars that are free, and that's on YouTube. You know, you have plenty of people who do live YouTube chats, and they'll give you some sort of information. And then there's other people out there who make a really good income reselling, and they have all sorts of information, spreadsheets and things like that that they want to give information on. And, you know, they want you to purchase like a little webinar access to that. That is a little bit different, because sometimes spreadsheets and all these other kind of organizational information, it's so difficult at sometimes to find really good tips and tricks on that. So if somebody's willing to make like a spreadsheet for you or do all this stuff and they want you to pay them for their time, that's a little bit different. But talking about places to go sourcing, or the best times to list, or like the best brands to list, you know, what to write in your title, what to write in your description, are measurements worth it? You can find all sorts of information like that here on YouTube. And I'm not necessarily saying my channel, I'm talking about so many different resellers on YouTube. And there's so many of them to name. I'm not going to name drop any of them, but there's just so many. You just type in reselling on Poshmark and bam, you have people making videos that say, don't do this on Poshmark, do this on Poshmark, follow these rules. You can also find things that sell on Poshmark. On Poshmark, you can go and, you know, edit sizing, edit pricing, and then click on where it says available and all that stuff and sold. And click on sold, and you'll see exactly the things that people are looking for. What's the trends? What's going on now? Are people buying fanny packs on Poshmark? Are people buying ripped jeans? Are people buying belts with rhinestones on them? Or, you know, flared legs, or whatever the case may be. You will be able to see all the things that people are really looking for. And not only that, but Poshmark puts out trend reports and showrooms that showcase, excuse me, different trends. And I think that's really important to pay attention to what sells on Poshmark when Poshmark is saying, hey, this is what's selling. Michael Kors bags are selling, denim caps are selling, like, I don't know, just the most random things, white sneakers, fuzzy socks, whatever the case may be. Poshmark will let you know, this is what's going on in our platform and this is what people want. Yes, people want other things as well. Let's say it's coming up on Valentine's Day here. People want dresses that they can wear out, you know, to go out to dinner, or they're going to hang out with the girls for Galentine's Day, you know. Think seasonal. Don't just think seasonal, but think seasonal. If you see pretty dresses that, hey, this would have been perfect for a New Year's party, get that. Or an ugly Christmas sweater, or Easter, or St. Patrick's Day. This shirt has a shamrock on it, and I know somebody's going to want it at some point. You know, be kind of think ahead a little bit. And I don't know, just things like that, like BOLO lists and what to list in descriptions and things like that. Sometimes I see people trying to charge for things like that, and it's so crazy. Or charging for Facebook groups to get into a VIP type of Facebook group so that they can give you all sorts of information that you can get for free. Now, I'm not knocking their hustle. I'm really not. But I do feel that if you're barely coming into the reselling game, you definitely want to get the best information possible. But if you feel like you've exhausted all your avenues and now you just want somebody who's been doing it for so long and you want their opinion, you want their you know, advice, and you want to pay for that, that's completely up to you. But I feel like if you're a new Poshmark or a new reseller, don't spend more money before you've actually made any kind of money. And another thing, I do see lots of people charging for closet consultations. And what that is on Poshmark is somebody will go into your closet and they'll critique things that you can change up, like your lighting, or, you know, your backdrops, things like that, your descriptions and all of that stuff. And honestly, one of the easiest things that you could possibly do is join a free Facebook group, like a Poshmark Facebook group. Take a photo of one of your listings and say, I just can't figure out the lighting, or I can't figure out what's going on in this backdrop, or I can't figure this, that, and the other. Can somebody please give me a hint or a tip on what to do to make this better? And I guarantee there will be so many people coming to your help, and they'll be like, oh, well, maybe if you remove this plant from your flat lay, or if you add an extra element of this, or if you move the light at this angle, or if you kind of use this app to brighten the background and all this stuff. You'll have so many people helping you out, and it won't cost you anything except a few minutes of reading through the comments, and you'll actually do great. You'll improve that way, right? Because we learn from each other. Now, as far as following different hashtags on social media, especially on Instagram, one of the hashtags that I follow is Reseller Squad, because it helps me learn from other resellers. I'll see other resellers' beautiful layouts, beautiful pictures, or things that they've picked up in the past. Another hashtag I'll follow on Instagram is Flat Lays. So you can see, flat lays. I don't necessarily do flat lays because I'm not the best at them, and I don't, I'm getting old, right? So I don't have that kind of patience to be hunched over all the time. But, some people have the most gorgeous flat lays. And it isn't just because I want inspiration for a flat lay. I want to see exactly how they're making something their own. Like, are they using a certain filter? Are they doing this, that, and the other? What kind of brand is that? I've never seen a shirt like that before. Those pants are beautiful. Where did you find them? You can find so many different details and specific information on things just by following certain hashtags. And not only that, following other resellers on Instagram. There are so many wonderful resellers who are on Instagram and then give out free, amazing information right here on YouTube. So I think if you're a newer reseller and you're just getting your feet wet, please, 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 please use up all the free information you possibly can before you start, purchasing BOLO lists, closet consultations, all that stuff. It takes time for you to build up your closet, your stores, whatever the case may be. It takes a lot of, trial and error. I've been doing this reselling for 2 years, and this is finally something that I'm really happy with. I don't have to second guess it, this whole background thing. It even has my name on it right here. The little, my little plaque has the little name on it. It's got little birds right here because of Thrifty Bird. One of my hangers has birds on it that I purchased from another reseller. It's just, you have to figure out but get as much free information as you possibly can because it's free. It's absolutely free. It costs you nothing. It doesn't cut into your profits. And who knows, you may be able to share that wealth of information to other fellow new resellers. So I hope this video helped people out. I hope, this didn't cross anybody the wrong way. I am definitely not trying to say don't buy BOLO lists, don't do this, but I'm definitely saying, just make sure that you're exhausting all of the free stuff first before you jump into purchasing all these things that might work for someone else but might not work for you. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys next video. Bye.